The January transfer window is fast approaching, and if the latest reports are anything to go by, we are about to witness one of the most explosive transfer battles in recent Premier League history. At the center of this storm is Bournemouth's standout star, Semenyo. The 25-year-old Ghana international has become the name on everyone's lips, and while heavyweights like Manchester United and Manchester City are currently leading the charge, a dramatic twist suggests that Liverpool might already have the inside track on a deal that could redefine their attack. The race for a rising star. According to Gimsport senior correspondent Ben Jacobs, the race for Semenyo is a who's who of English football. Manchester United, Manchester City, Arsenal, Tottenham Hotspur, and Liverpool are all monitoring the attacker. However, the situation in Manchester is heating up fast. Both United and City have emerged as the frontrunners to secure his signature as early as next month. City is looking for fresh energy to bolster their clinical edge, while United is desperate for a player with Semenyo's explosive pace and directness. The urgency of this deal is fueled by a specific early bird release clause. Semenyo reportedly has a £65 million release clause active for the first part of the January window. This means that if a club wants to avoid a long, drawn-out saga that bleeds into the February 2nd deadline, they need to move fast and pay up front. For a player who has been described by his teammate Justin Kluivert as world-class, that price tag is starting to look like a bargain. The Liverpool connection, a secret agreement? While the Manchester clubs might be the most active in terms of inquiries, the heart of the player seems to be set on Merseyside. In a series of shocking updates, reports from The Guardian and Caught Offside suggest that a move to Anfield is Semenyo's personal preference. Even more stunning is the claim that personal terms have already been agreed between Semenyo and Liverpool. Fabrizio Romano has noted that Liverpool has been maintaining phone contact since November. While the initial plan might have been to explore a move for 2026, the sudden availability of the player and the intense interest from rivals may force Liverpool's hand. If the personal terms are indeed signed and sealed, Liverpool holds the ultimate trump card. They aren't just watching the race. They might already be waiting at the finish line. Is Semenyo the Cody Gakpo upgrade? The most controversial part of this potential move is what it means for the current squad, specifically Cody Gakpo. The Dutchman has been a vital servant for the Reds, even helping secure the Premier League title in Arne Slot's debut season. However, football moves fast. This season, Gakpo has struggled to find his rhythm, with some critics labeling his playstyle as one-dimensional compared to the dynamic needs of Slot's system. Enter Semenyo. The Ghanaian winger has been in blistering form under Bournemouth boss Andoni Iraola, netting 8 goals in just 16 Premier League appearances. To put his impact into perspective, England legend Chris Waddle recently labeled him the best winger in England. When you compare the two, the differences are striking. Versatility. While Gakpo often prefers the left or a central false nine role, Semenyo is a physical powerhouse who glides across the entire front line. Two-footed lethality. One of Semenyo's biggest threats is his ability to strike with either foot, making him a nightmare for defenders to show onto a weak side. Progressive play. He excels at carrying the ball from deep, transforming defense into attack in seconds, a trait Liverpool has lacked during Gakpo's recent dip in form. With the arrival of Florian Wirtz from Bayer Leverkusen in the summer, the competition for places on the wing is already at an all-time high. While Wirtz is still finding his feet, his impressive performance against Tottenham shows he is the future. Adding Semenyo to that mix would give Liverpool a level of depth and world-class quality that would strike fear into any defense in Europe. The tactical dilemma: attack versus defense. Despite the excitement surrounding a Semenyo to Liverpool move, the club faces a massive tactical and financial dilemma. Is an attacker really the priority? Liverpool's defensive depth is currently looking paper-thin. With Giovanni Leone and Joe Gomez sidelined, Arne Slot is left with only Virgil van Dijk and Ibrahima Konate as recognized senior center-backs. If Liverpool spends £65 million on Semenyo, will there be enough left in the war chest to fix a defense that is one injury away from a crisis? It's a high-stakes gamble. Landing Semenyo would weaken their rivals and upgrade their wings, but leaving the backline exposed could haunt them in the title race. What happens next? As we head toward the new year, the ball is in Liverpool's court. They have the player's preference, They allegedly have the personal terms, and they have a clear path to the release clause. But with Manchester United and City circling like sharks, any hesitation could see the best winger in England heading to Manchester instead of Anfield. One thing is certain, Antoine Semenyo is the prize of the winter. Whether he ends up wearing the red of Liverpool or the blue of City, he is a player destined for the very top of the game. Liverpool may be preparing one of the most talked about moves of the January transfer window, and it involves a player Tottenham Hotspur see as a key part of their future. Reports from Spain suggest the Reds have placed a huge €60 million, £53 million, offer on the table for teenage midfielder Lucas Bergvall, a move that could seriously shake up Spurs' transfer plans and spark major debate among fans of both clubs. The timing of the report is interesting. Liverpool are starting to find some momentum after a slow and frustrating start to the season. Their recent 2-1 victory over Tottenham marked a third straight win in all competitions, offering signs that Arne Slot's side may finally be turning a corner. Despite that improvement, Liverpool are still 10 points behind Premier League leaders Arsenal, far from where many expected them to be after last season's title triumph. That title win was historic. In Slot's very first season as head coach, Liverpool dominated the league and followed it up with massive spending in the summer transfer window, investing more than £400 million in new players. The expectation was clear: push on, dominate again, and leave rivals chasing shadows. Instead, inconsistency and injuries have left the Reds playing catch-up, forcing the club to rethink how to strengthen the squad mid-season. Recent reports have linked Liverpool with reinforcements in defense and attack, with names like Bournemouth's Antoine Semenyo and Crystal Palace defender Mark Guéhi frequently mentioned. But now, attention has shifted to the midfield, where Liverpool believe a young, high-ceiling talent could make a big difference both now and in the future. According to Spanish outlet Fichajes, Liverpool have made Lucas Bergvall a priority target and have already submitted a €60 million offer to Tottenham. Bergvall, just 19 years old, has had a mixed season in terms of minutes, moving in and out of the starting 11 under new Spurs boss Thomas Frank. Even so, his talent and potential are not in doubt, and Liverpool clearly see him as a long-term investment with immediate value. For Tottenham, this offer changes everything. The club reportedly has no desire to sell Bergvall and considers him one of the pillars of their future project. However, the size of the bid has forced Spurs to at least consider their options. A €60 million injection would give them significant financial flexibility, allowing them to strengthen several areas of the squad in an increasingly competitive transfer market. At the same time, Spurs are fully aware of what they could lose. Bergvall's development has been rapid, and his influence on the pitch has grown steadily. Inside the dressing room, he is said to be highly valued, not just for his performances, but also for his attitude and work ethic. Letting him go now would mean sacrificing a player many believe could become a star of the Premier League in the coming years. Liverpool, on the other hand, believe the move makes perfect sense. From their point of view, Bergvall already has valuable Premier League experience, is still extremely young, and has plenty of room to improve under the right guidance. The Reds are confident that their offer will be enough to convince Tottenham to reconsider their stance, even if talks between the two clubs are still at an early stage. The praise Bergvall has received from top figures in football only adds to the story. Manchester City manager Pep Guardiola reportedly described him as unstoppable last season, a powerful compliment coming from one of the most respected coaches in the game. Former Spurs boss Ange Postecoglou also spoke very highly of the Swedish midfielder when he signed a new 6-year contract back in May. Postecoglou highlighted Bergvall's remarkable adaptation to English football, pointing out that many young players usually need a step in between before reaching the Premier League. Bergvall, however, arrived straight from the Swedish league with just 1 year of senior football behind him and still managed to make an impact. While he initially struggled with the intensity and tempo, his hard work and willingness to learn helped him overcome those challenges. Opportunities came his way due to squad issues, and Bergvall took them without hesitation. Even when the team later had more players available, he continued to earn selection through his performances. Postecoglou made it clear that Bergvall represents part of a core group of young players Tottenham hoped to build around for the future. Now, that future is uncertain. Liverpool's interest has put Spurs in a difficult position, balancing long-term vision against short-term opportunity. For Liverpool, the deal could signal another bold statement of intent, showing they are willing to invest heavily to close the gap on Arsenal and reassert themselves at the top. As January approaches, all eyes will be on how this situation develops. Will Tottenham resist the temptation and keep hold of one of their brightest young talents? Or will Liverpool's big money offer prove too hard to refuse? One thing is certain. This potential transfer has all the ingredients to become one of the defining stories of the window, and fans won't have to wait long to see how it unfolds.